It definitely is. And at the end of the day, again, we're all humans. So playing into how we feel, how passionate we feel on these types of conversations, and that's where I have to agree with my colleague here on why some jurors are going to be a little bit more closely scrutinized or examined, even if they are looking or appearing as if they are impartial, because we do need to get to that root of you're being fed a lot of information. What do you do with that? And at the end of the day, how are you going to weigh that? It would be. And I think there's two sides of this. If he does take the stand, it may give the jury a better idea as to what's going on in his head, or maybe what's not going on in his head. On the flip side, if he doesn't take the stand, it's that question of, well, what's really going on in his head? We don't know. And we're just going off of what we've seen, what we're being told, and asked to make a decision there. So I do agree. I think it would be interesting if he does. That's a great question. You're looking at the entire background of this defendant, or at least what you are told. So upbringing, from your own experiences, what happens if you are raised in an environment that you necessarily did not agree with? And moving forward, as you grow into your adult years, is what kind of education did you have? What was around you? The media here has played, unfortunately, a very big part in what people think they know or what people think they believe in. So if the insanity defense does not work here, Jesse, I still think that playing into how can we humanize him, what can we do to better understand what goes on inside a person's head is going to be crucial here, which is, takes us back to our earlier point of what happens if the defendant does in fact. Again, another great question, Jesse. For this case, it's so crucial to be able to use this type of strike because you want to keep in mind the balance of somebody who understands that, yes, the death penalty is an option, and understanding that if the punishment doesn't fit the crime, then that may not be something they want to do. But somebody who has just enough of an open mind to say, I'm willing to listen to both sides here, but I also need to keep in line the idea that, we need to preserve life as much as we can and make sure that sentencing is fair. So I think the strategy here is, again, playing into the emotions of, I apologize on my camera. We need to play into the emotions
so
of
small.
the jury here.
There we go. Yeah, you're back. Look, and remember, they only have
Jesse, having the perfect balance and understanding what does perfect mean. You need to have that balance. You need to have that balance of somebody who is just interested enough, but also disinterested enough to where they have the ability to really think for themselves here. And, if we're looking at this particular juror member that's being examined, as my colleague said, all the right questions. Right. All the right questions are being answered. But the problem is the types of answers for somebody like this, in my opinion, is a wild card. And I don't want a wild card on my jury.